Syntropic Growers. It's video number 42 at Fig Tree Organic Farm in sunny Queensland, or not so sunny today. We've got overcast and a little bit of rain this morning, which is welcome. We're just doing our annual prune, and we thought we'd share a few pruning tips, some labour saving tips, because I've got this young apprentice here and he loves doing everything the hard way. So I want to show a few tricks to save your back, save your time, save your money, and get the job done as efficiently as possible. So you noticed we took out our papayas there. The reason being is that they stopped producing. So you've got to ask yourself the question, what role does a plant have in your system? And if it's not fulfilling its role, should it or is it time to take it out and return it into the soil or return it into the system as mulch? So these papayas here haven't produced for some time now, and we have just decided to dice them up, as was demonstrated. However, leave the roots in the ground because there's still microbial populations living around the roots. The papaya stem will live on for a while, eventually will rot out, but it provides food, provides diversity in the soil structure and the root structure, and it can't hurt. So we've also got a few pointers on banana thinning out, because like me, I don't have enough time to keep on top of the desuckering, and we've got bananas down in some of the systems there that are just out of control. The problem being is too many stems equals small or no bananas. So the commercial guys stick to a basic pattern and have mum, daughter, baby. So this is successional growth. By the time we're taking this stem down or we're taking the fruit off, this one will be ready. And this one will follow after. Now they're saying don't allow more than a fourth sucker to come up. You can desucker him out, and we're using a tool called a banana slammer, which I'll find here. And I really do recommend you purchase one of these. These basically go in between the mother stem and the banana that you're trying to remove. And all you do is slam it like that. It's very pleasant to use. You can even use it with one hand, and you can see it's going into the ground so easily. So these are about, I think, $360 from a company called Forest Tools, called the Slammer tool. It was invented in New Zealand, and that's probably the only good thing to come out of New Zealand. Sorry, but besides their lamb and cheese, but this is a fantastic tool. Gone are the days when you're trying to balance on the spine of a long shovel. This is a brilliant thing. Now, what kind of bananas are we taking out? Here is what's known as a sword sucker, and for obvious reason. The leaf is in the shape of a sword, and it's normally the one close to the mother corm, the corm being the big bowl mass rooting under the ground there. Now these things are continually shooting up. So in this case we won't remove him because that's a sword sucker, and this is the sort of banana that brings on the best fruit. Now we have water suckers, of which we will try and find an example. And they don't produce the best fruit. They have a wider leaf and they tend to be further away from the mother stem. Probably not worth potting up or replanting, just mulch them up. So that's what we're looking for right there. 1, 2, 3. And there's a couple of other tricks here. We've got a bunch of bananas here that, again, they're out of control. We've got 2 adults that really shouldn't be there. They are competing with each other. This one looks like a sword sucker, but he's on the periphery. This is sucking a lot of the water. It's not looking great at the top, but however, it is the tallest one. So you could remove this one You could allow him to stay, and you could leave an intermediary one or the daughter there, and you could possibly desucker these out or just cut them down as mulch. So how do we select? Well, you can stand back and have a look. I do tend generally to go for the tallest one, but in this case, he's not looking too good. He's got a bit of rot up there, a bit of a thin stem. This one is more robust perhaps. So if we take out him, and him, leave this one, and this one, we should be all right. So, and by the way, besides your slammer tool, this is a must-have. This is an arborist's chainsaw. It's designed light enough to hang off your belt while you're climbing up trees. It's very light. I think it's only about 1.5 kilos, and the blade is quite thin compared to other chainsaws, so you get a neat cut. We found pole saws and larger chainsaws are ripping the bark off the eucalypt trees that we were trimming, but this one not so much. And it's not too hard to hold above your head. So not cheap. It was about $800, little Husqvarna T525 professional arborist saw. 100% recommend it. So it can cut anything, including the bananas. How easy is that? So how do we chop our bananas up? Well, here's tool number 3. I'm here to tell you that we need to give up machetes. This is a cane cutting knife. It's very light, and it has a little hook on the back, which you're going to find out why. It's a very useful tool. It saves your back, and it's really good for dicing up bananas. So here we have our example. And how good is that? So here I have my target tree. This orange tree hasn't had a feed in a while. So to save energy, you don't want to drag bananas all over the place. You want to try and use the fallen banana next to where you want to use it. So I didn't have to pull that very far, did I? And this is the reason why I plant bananas 4 meters apart and the fruit tree smack in the middle. So it saves energy. Rather than carting them all up and down the rows and wearing yourself out, just fall the banana next to your fruit tree here, and the food's right next to it, ready to be diced up. So how do we do this? Just get your stance right. This blade flicks. You don't have to do brute force with it. It's razor sharp. All you got to do is try and dice the banana up to the length of your blade, and you'll soon see why. So now we come back to the start, and again we're trying to save energy here because this is a huge job, isn't it? So when we flick the blade down, when we get impact, we do a little wrist flick. I'll show you why. Come a little closer. And watch how the stems split. See how easy that is? And some guys grab the stem, and sometimes quite long ones, and they bugger around doing this. You can do that if you want, but my take on that is it's very dangerous with the blade. You're pushing your hand on a sharp edge. It's not sharp, but it could do some damage if you slip. I think either way has its merits, but for me this is the energy efficient way. It's one hit, one result. So we'll split those guys up. sometimes the drier leaves are a little hard to get through. So now, rather than banding up and picking one stem at a time, just save your back, come down and place your bananas like tiles around your tree. Just a little shuffle forward, and I'm saving my back. Now, having been in bed for 2 weeks with a slip disc, some of you might know what that's like, some of you won't, but when you experience it, it's the worst thing you've ever had. It's like someone digging a hot knife into the back of your spine. So my MO now is to try and work sensibly and ergonomically and efficiently with the least amount of energy expended and the least amount of strain on this old man back here. So these guys, you can just arrange them nicely around your target tree. Both sides of the row. And that tree will thank you for the next 6 months. Now we need to put some leaves on. Here we go. Normally there's leaves on the banana. What we're going to do is grab the whole lot of leaves, gather it up, wrap your arm around like that, and some Syntropic growers are telling me they're being advised that it's better to put the leaves on last because the sun dries out the banana stems. So all you got to do is one hit there and one hit there and it's finished. See how easy that is? There's really no effort at all. And you're saving those stems drying out. You want the water in the stems to last as long as possible to create a mulch and create a rot down, create fungus. So the leaves just act as a bit of a shade from the sun. That's how we're doing it these days. And because when you've got thousands and thousands of bananas to clean out, you want to try and do it the easiest way possible. I'm sure you'll agree. So that's over and out for Farmer Jones on video number 42. We'll see you on the next one, where we're going to discuss sugarcane mulch and biomass rows using sugarcane. See you then. Cheers.